In the small township of Tembisa, there lived a young woman named Lerato Maseko. She was 26 years old, beautiful in a humble way, with chocolate brown skin, full cheeks, and the kind of smile that could melt a man's heart if only he paid attention long enough. But Lerato had one problem. She wanted love too much. She wanted it so badly that it became her mission in life. Her friends were getting married one by one. Every weekend, there was a wedding somewhere and Lerato would attend, smiling through her envy. She wanted to wear that white dress, to hear the pastor say, "You may kiss your bride." She didn't just want any kind of love. She wanted to be married, to be someone's wife, to be called Mrs. and wear that golden ring that sparkled when the sun touched it. Her mother, Mama Novula, used to say to her, "Lerato, love is not something you beg for, my child. If you chase a man like you chase a taxi in the rain, he will drive away faster." But Lerato never listened. One Sunday afternoon after church, she met Tabo Molef, a tall, brown-skinned man, always smelling of engine oil and cologne. A handsome man who worked as an auto electrician in the nearby town of Kempton Park. She thought her prayers had been answered. Tabo had dimples, a beard that he brushed like it was made of gold, and a deep voice that could make any woman weak. He smiled at her that day and said, "You look nice in that blue dress." That one sentence entered her heart like a sweet arrow. From that day, Lerato told herself, "This is the one." From the very first day, Lerato fell hard. She started imagining herself wearing his surname before he even asked her out properly. They started talking, small chats after church, and WhatsApp messages that became long calls. Tabo wasn't exactly romantic, but when he spoke, he sounded confident. One evening, he said to her, "My mother will like you. You have good home training." That one sentence made Lerato's heart to dance. To her, it sounded like a marriage proposal. 2 weeks later, she visited Tabo's home in Ivory Park. She wore her best dress, carried oranges and biscuits, and practiced how to greet his mother. Tabo lived with his mother, Mama Dino, and two sisters, Kia and Lebo. Their house was always busy, full of noise, gossip, and the smell of pap and chakalaka. When Lerato first visited, she came with a big smile and a basin of oranges. Lerato smiled nervously. "Good afternoon, Mama. My name is Lerato. I just wanted to greet you properly, Mama," she said shyly. Mama Dino looked her up and down and said, "So this is the girl who has been following my son like a shadow." Everyone laughed. Everyone except Lerato. "I see. Come inside." Inside, there were two young ladies sitting on a couch. They were Tabo's sisters, Kia and Lebo. They looked at Lerato from head to toe like she was a piece of used furniture that was being inspected. Kia whispered, "So this is Tabo's girlfriend. She looks ordinary." Lebo giggled. "Maybe she can cook, that's what matters in this house." Lerato pretended not to hear. She kept smiling, helping Mama Dino to serve pap and beef stew. By the end of the visit, she told herself, "If I show them that I am respectful and hardworking, they will love me and accept me." And that was the beginning of her journey, a journey of doing everything possible to be loved. From that day, Lerato became part of the Molef household unofficially. She started coming to Tabo's house almost every day. She washed the dishes, cleaned the floors, did laundry, and even helped Mama Dino cook Sunday lunch. One Saturday morning, she woke up before everyone, swept the whole compound, took a big brush and a bucket of soapy water, and began scrubbing the gate. A neighbor, Auntie Patricia, passed by and stopped. Her mouth was wide open. "Ah, Lerato, are you being paid for that cleaning?" Lerato laughed awkwardly. "No, Auntie, I'm just helping around." "Helping? Eish, my child, even domestic workers does not wash gates. You are overdoing things." But Lerato only smiled. Inside her heart, she told herself, "When they see how hard I work, they will love me and Tabo will marry me." Inside the house, Kia whispered to Lebo, "Yo, this girl is serious. She wants to marry the whole family." Mama Dino chuckled and said, "Let her walk, at least the house is clean." But Lerato didn't mind. She even started bringing groceries, cooking oil, maize meal, and sometimes meat. She even ironed Tabo's shirts, polished his shoes, and sometimes cooked his favorite stew when his mother was away. One Sunday, she ironed Tabo's shirt and folded them neatly. When he saw it, he just nodded and said, "Thanks." No wow. No, you didn't have to. Just thanks. But Lerato smiled anyway. At least he noticed, she said to herself. Kia, the younger sister, would laugh and whisper, "This girl is desperate. She's trying too hard." But Lerato ignored them all. She believed that love was earned through sacrifice, that if she kept giving everything, she would be chosen one day. One evening, while Tabo and his friends were watching football, Lerato entered the sitting room, carrying a tray of snacks. "Here, babe, I made some chips and sausages," she said sweetly. Tabo's friend Mandla laughed and said, "Yo, Tabo, this one is wife material, my guy. See the way she's even serving us." Lerato blushed shyly, but Tabo just shrugged and said, she likes doing things like that. She's so nice." She waited for him to look at her with affection, but his eyes were fixed on the TV. After the match, she washed the plates, swept the floor, and even took out the trash. Kia watched her and said sarcastically, "When you finally marry Tabo, please hire me as your maid. You are too perfect." Lerato smiled politely. "You will see, Kia. One day I will be your sister-in-law." Kia burst out laughing. "We will see about that one day." By this time, Lerato was practically living at the Molef's house. When Mama Dino was sick, Lerato nursed her. When the sisters had boyfriend issues, Lerato gave advice. She was like a daughter to the family, except that she wasn't one. She even used her salary from her supermarket job to help pay their electricity bill. Mama Novula, her mother, noticed that her daughter was always tired and absent from home. "Lerato," she said one evening, "you are treating these people like you are already married to them." "Mama, I love him. They are my future family." Her mother sighed and said, "My child, if a man loves you, he will fight for you, not make you fight for his family." But Lerato didn't listen. Instead, she said to herself, "Mama just doesn't understand how love works. She's still in the old generation. This is the Gen Z generation. You have to prove it." Months passed and Lerato kept doing more. She started using her own money to buy groceries for the family. Sometimes, when Tabo's mother complained about bills, Lerato would bring her money just to help. She did all this even though she had her own struggles. Her mother was a widow, her younger brother was still in school, and she was working part-time at a supermarket. Still, she told herself, "This is investment. One day, I will be Mrs. Molefe, and all of this will pay off." But life had other plans for her. One Saturday afternoon, Lerato wore her best jean and a white top. She baked a chocolate cake and bought soft drinks. "I will surprise Tabo and his family today," she said excitedly. When she got to the house, she heard loud music. The compound was decorated with ribbons and cheers. She smiled and said, maybe it's a family celebration." She walked in confidently, but what she saw stopped her heartbeat. Tabo stood beside a beautiful light-skinned woman in a yellow dress. Her heart froze. "Who is this?" she asked quickly. Tabo smiled nervously. "Oh, Lerato, meet Ufo, my fiancé." "Your what?" Mama Dino jumped in and said, "Yes, so my son is getting married. Finally, a woman who knows her worth." Kia clapped her hands and said, "Our new Makoti, not the one who used to wash gates." Lerato's knees gave way. She dropped the cake she had brought and just stood there shaking. But, Mama, Tabo, but I thought I was the one." Tabo avoided her eyes. "I'm sorry, Lerato. Things just happened." Her lips trembled. "Tabo, after everything I did for you, after everything I did for your family." He sighed and said, "You are a good woman, Lerato, but Ufo and I connect differently. Don't worry. At God's appointed time, He will send you your own man, a man that will truly love you, not a man that you have to wash gates to get." "Tabo, what do you mean?" she asked, her eyes filled with tears. "Tabo, I cooked for your family. I washed your clothes. I even paid your bills. I took care of Mama when she was sick. I even gave your sisters advice, relationship advice when they were in a serious relationship trouble. I did everything. What do you mean? Mama Dino interrupted her immediately. Ish, my child, no one asked you to do all that. You are just being over helpful. You are just a nice girl. Thank you for being nice. The girl started whispering. Lerato ran out of the house in tears. The people who had eaten her food, used her money, and watched her scrub their walls and their gates did not even attempt to stop her. She cried all night, asking herself, was I not good enough? Was I not beautiful enough? But in truth, she wasn't lacking goodness. She had just given it to the wrong people. The news of Tabo's wedding spread quickly in the township. People gossiped. Did you hear? That girl who was washing the Molef's gate. They dumped her. Eish, poor thing. She was too nice. Men don't respect women who do too much for them. Lerato couldn't go out for weeks. Her heart was broken. Her pride shattered. Even her mother's word felt like salt on a wound. Didn't I warn you, Lerato? Love is not something you buy with chores. Weeks passed. Lerato couldn't eat properly. She deleted her social media accounts, stopped going to church, and even avoided her friends. Everywhere she went, she heard gossip. That's the girl who was washing their gate. She thought she was already the wife. She was just too desperate. Mama Novula tried to comfort her. My child, sometimes rejection is protection. That family did not deserve your kindness. But Lerato felt empty and used. Then slowly, she began to heal. She stopped crying and started praying. She realized that she had lost herself trying to please others. Then she told herself, no more proving my worth to anyone. I am enough. Lerato Maseko, you are enough. One day, as she walked past a beauty salon, she saw a sign that read, cleaners wanted. She smiled bitterly and said to herself, I have been cleaning all my life. Maybe this time I will clean for myself. Lerato took the job and worked hard. Clients loved her dedication. One even told her, you are wasted here. You should start your own business. That comment sparked something inside her. With her little savings, she bought cleaning tools and started her Shine Girl cleaning services. At first, she went door to door offering to clean homes. People mocked her. Isn't that the girl who used to clean her boyfriend's house for free? But Lerato kept going. Her first client recommended her to others. Within months, she had more jobs that she could handle. She hired 2 helpers, then 5. Her small hustle became a registered company. She employed other women, single mothers, domestic workers, even young girls who needed jobs. Her name became known across Tembisa. People began to respect her hustle. One hot afternoon, Lerato was cleaning offices at a shopping mall when she heard a familiar voice. Lerato. She turned. It was Tabo. He looked tired and older. His clothes were wrinkled and torn. Tabo, she said quietly. He smiled weakly and said, Lerato, it's been long. How are you doing? Well, I'm fine. I can see you are doing well. I've been following your business on Facebook. You are really inspiring. She nodded politely and said, thank you. He sighed. Unfo left me. She said I'm not ambitious enough. She took everything I had. Lerato looked at him and said softly, I'm sorry to hear that. He looked at her with regret and said, Lerato, you are the good one. You loved me truly, but I was blind and stupid. I took your love for granted. I'm so sorry. Please, can you come back to me? Can we make this work again? She smiled and said, no, Tabo. I was the blind one. I didn't love myself enough, and I am never going back to you. He looked away, ashamed. Then Lerato picked up her broom and said, take care of yourself, Tabo. I have work to do. Then she turned and walked away, her cleaning uniform shining in the sunlight. At that moment, everyone watching knew she was no longer the desperate girl who washed gates for love. She was a woman who had found herself. As she walked away, the other cleaners clapped excitedly for her. That day, she didn't just clean the floor, she cleaned away the last pieces of her pain. Years later, Lerato's business grew into a company with branches in 3 cities. She even started a foundation to train women on self-worth and entrepreneurship. When she was invited to speak, she would begin with her favorite line: "If you have to watch gate for someone to see your value, you are standing at the wrong gate." The crowd would laugh and clap, but she meant every word. She had learned that love should be mutual, not a project, that self-respect is more attractive than self-sacrifice, and that being too desperate for acceptance can make people take advantage of you. As she stood in front of her new office one evening, watching her employees live happily, Lerato smiled and whispered, "The girl who tried too hard for love finally learned to love herself." And that truly was a happily ever after. The moral lesson of this story is, never lose yourself trying to prove your worth to people who don't value you. Love should not be earned through suffering or service. And when people use your goodness, let karma handle them. Your healing is your revenge. And finally, sometimes rejection is simply redirection towards your true purpose. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more African tales that will make you laugh, think and learn. Until next time, stay safe, stay wise, stay united. And with that being said, I'm gonna bye. Mwah. I'm gonna bye.